Okay, brilliant. Right, we're here for another client catch up with Liam, who joined the program a while ago, to be fair, and has made some awesome progress. Has an awesome story, which we're going to dive into right now. So, first of all, just tell us what you like going back to before you joined the program, where you were kind of at, and how you were feeling, and what you were struggling with.
So yeah, before I joined the program, I was definitely the biggest I had probably ever been, to be fair, around about like, I think before I actually started the program, I was around about 95 to 96 kg.
Mhm.
But I didn't even, it was weird. I didn't even realize how big I'd got. Um, People didn't really see it on me, but now after the program, seeing the state of change, you can see how really big I had got. And I was going on holiday and stuff like that, and I felt uncomfortable. We went on a cruise, and it was like being around the pool and stuff like that. I just didn't feel relaxed, just sitting in the chairs around the pool and going,
Mm.
just like sitting there with your mates and your family and things like that, and it just felt uncomfortable. And always had struggles trying to drop weight and keep it off. Um, I've always been enjoying going to the gym. I've always liked that side of things. I've always been able to sort of like do really well in the gym and lifting
Mm.
weights and stuff. But yeah, the nutrition side I could never get down, and I never knew where the right places were to look to really improve that side of things. Like I'd see things online, and I'd like, is that true? Is this how it actually works? And could never find something that was working for me and something that was good for me. So I found those struggles beforehand, and it always made me worry about committing to something because I just didn't know how to do it. So I just knew I had a baby on the way, and I knew I needed to do something because I wanted to be a healthy dad. And I knew that that was the right time that I needed to make a change in my life and see myself improve with my nutrition and my fitness.
This just popped into my head, having just heard you say that. Do you think if you didn't have your baby girl on the way, if it was at a different time in your life, do you think you still would have made that step, or would it have taken
I
something
don't
else
know
that would
actually.
have had to
I kind of,
give you a
I
little
think so
kick?
to a degree. Yeah, I think I would have still made that choice. I think the baby on the way made me do it maybe sooner.
Mm.
But I could still see myself getting into a worse position constantly and potentially even getting bigger and bigger at the time. And eventually it would have just been like a bit more of a downward spiral.
Mm.
So I think I needed to make that decision whether baby was on the way or not anyway, because I would have just been an unhealthy person and that's not who I wanted to be. But the baby definitely made me do it there and then. Because I knew I was on like a little bit of a ticking clock because I knew once she had come along
Yeah.
that it was going to be even hard, like potentially even harder. But maybe not after doing the program now. Actually, maybe it wouldn't have been that difficult. So
What was your kind of like routine like a normal day or a normal week beforehand that maybe you was why you were struggling with or the idea of committing to something was difficult.
I always thought I always had a like an intermittent fasting thing going on. I think
Yeah.
where I would skip breakfast. I wouldn't really think that I needed to eat in the mornings, which made it a bit. I don't know. It made me think that it would make it easier for my lifestyle traveling into work into London on the train. That if I just skipped breakfast, I just had a coffee, then that would help me lose weight because then I'd just start eating at lunchtime and things like that when I get into work, and then I can pop out at lunchtime and grab something at work and maybe look for a healthy option and things like that. So yeah, I would do things like that before the program, and I would think that that was easy and convenient for me
Mm.
because I didn't have to think about it too much. It was just be like, I'll skip this meal, get into work, do my morning, have a coffee, and then I would have like something for lunch, and then I'd see myself sort of after work, after like the lunchtime period, having my lunch, whether it be healthy or not, still picking at things and things like that, having your snacks that are in the office. And then, yeah, just trying to, I would still do some sort of activities. I'd try and walk from the station and things like that and not,
Mm.
not get the train on the underground to my main train sort of thing. So I'd still try and do the bit of activity. I'd play a little bit of football with friends and stuff like that. But then I'd find myself then getting home really late after doing those activities, jumping back on the train, 2 hours back home sort of thing, and then find myself eating a late dinner and still being relatively hungry after having quite a large dinner as well, just because that was what was prepared for me when I got home, and I
Yeah.
just couldn't easy. A bit
So
lazy as well, but
so you think that kind of just the strategy you naturally adopted to try and lose weight was actually kind of hindering your progress because it meant
oh, for
you weren't
sure, yeah,
satisfied and you snacked and yeah, it was kind of just as and when a meal or something came up, there was no kind of structure.
100%. And it was like the things that I was snacking on, I thought were like the healthy things. So I'd like go and get the Grays like sweet corn stuff and stuff like that. But then when actually looking into it, like if you eat enough of that, that's quite a lot of calories in there.
Mm.
If you get like through a whole bag of that like deep
Yeah.
fried sweet corn stuff, and it's like you think you're doing the right thing, but you're really not. Because like I would eat those, and it's like I'm still damn hungry. Like give me something that's gonna fill me up, but that's
Mm.
also healthy for me. And it's just like, yeah, like, I was picking the wrong things all the time just to try and like throughout my busy day that would just be like, oh, that's healthy. Let's grab that. That will surely sort me out. And then it doesn't sort you out, and then end up having something bad. So
Yeah. And just making it more difficult for yourself, right? Then
100%, yeah.
so what was like the biggest difference from then, from before you joined the program and kind of how you were attempting to lose weight compared to once you jumped on the program?
So the biggest change was like I don't know, breakfast. Having an actual structured breakfast helped me out massively. It's probably my favorite meal of the day now. I go to bed excited to wake up to have my skier bowl in the morning, and it literally sets me up so well. And the best thing about it was that it's such an easy meal to prepare.
Hmm.
Like the night before, I would just put some natural yogurt, 0% fat into a bowl with a little bit of protein powder and some like natural cacao powder and some frozen berries. And at that point, I wake up in the morning, I jump on the train, and whilst I'm sitting on the train commuting into work, I've got like a nice meal, and that
Hmm.
sets me up for the whole day until lunchtime. And even at lunchtime, I don't find myself like particularly super hungry. And then I'm able to, well, I was also planning to take lunches, so meal prep was a massive thing for that. So I'd take in lunches, which would be like a pot of tuna mixed in with like some sriracha sauce. And then I'd buy like one of the little packets of rice to mix with it and have that for lunch.
Hmm.
So yeah, just that sort of meal prep and planning my meals compared to beforehand, where I would see myself just thinking skipping meals was the right option and trying to make shift with buying the healthy stuff to actually just putting a lot of protein into my diet and realizing that even if I'm not going to the gym and I'm not working out, actually still having protein in my diet is essential just so
Hmm.
that well, yeah, my body needs it and that makes me feel fuller.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was a huge turning point and understanding that. And I think that's what has helped me massively now because I was going to the gym a lot and stuff like that during the program, but now baby's here. I don't get the chance to go to the gym as much. I went once a couple of days ago. My intention was to go again yesterday, but she had a terrible night, so I had barely any sleep.
Hmm.
Got up late, didn't want to go into the gym. But because I'm still eating the protein and I'm keeping a healthy diet, I still get my steps in and things like that. I don't find myself getting super hungry. I don't snack. The muscle seems to still stick around because the protein's high still. And yeah, I'm sticking at this maintenance weight, which is what I want to do now. Now that I've reached my goal, and I'm not struggling to keep. I'm not putting anything on, which is great, and I'm shocked.
That's
I
exactly
really
what
thought,
Richard said in the previous episode. He was like, just by learning kind of what to prioritize and how to eat a little bit more sensibly, he just doesn't feel full. Like he's now eating a lot less than he was before. And he's not like craving sweet things and
yeah,
but he also knows that he's allowed it if he wants and he just kind of accounts for it and what to do to kind of mitigate it a little bit, but finding that balance. So do you find that the system that we kind of put in place, especially to help you navigate the days where you had your long commutes into London, um, and managing those meals out and the prep that, was quite a big part. Do you think that
Yeah,
system, maybe beforehand, before the program, if you thought about it all, it would have maybe felt like quite a lot, but actually once you got
yeah.
into it, it was fairly easy to follow?
Yeah, so before the program, I was always, and even at the very start of the program, when you start to like learn the best methods for tracking what you're eating and prepping what you're eating, yeah, that's a little bit difficult, but it soon becomes very, very easy. You get very used to how to do it,
Yeah.
and and I think it's difficult because you're doing it on your own. If you used to do it on your own, it's hard, right? I never knew what the right amount of proteins. I didn't know the macros. I didn't know what was good. And yeah, you might be able to Google it and stuff like that and find out online, but it's also quite difficult to find the right stuff because there's so much false information out there. You
Hmm.
don't know what's true and you don't know what's working for you. So jumping onto the program and finding out that reliable, like honest resource that you were able to give us was absolutely essential because I knew that what you was feeding me, the information that I was getting you from you was correct and was right, and you could see the results. Then it was actually working, and like it was, yeah, like we said, it's difficult beforehand, but jumping like now, it's super easy. Tracking my food and stuff like that, it's no troubles at all. And in
So,
fact,
so
I
there
kind of
was,
like doing it because I
yeah.
know what I'm
So
putting in my body.
I think even when you get into the habit and you start doing it and it becomes a bit easier, like it's easy to do, but when you see yourself getting results that you couldn't do before because you're doing this new habit, it just like reaffirms it in your head over and over and like
Yeah,
it makes sense. It's like I know this works and I'm also building the knowledge to continue to maintain these results or switch the goal up and kind of depending on what you want to do in the future. But to the knowledge to maintain this without having to track, Now you're in a
yeah,
position where you could live your life now knowing kind of how to consciously like tweak stuff without tracking
100%.
and maintain your
Yeah, I
weight.
don't track very much at all anymore. I don't
Exactly.
need to. Like I know what I'm eating now because of the knowledge that I've gained over the time.
Mm.
That I can see things and it's going into my meal and I know what I'm putting in and how many calories that's likely to be and how to tweak things so that it suits me. Even me and my missus, we sometimes play a little game when we go shopping. It's like, how many calories do you reckon we're putting down? She looks at it, it's like, what was the one the other day, for an example? It's like a little egg custard tart thing. And I was like, how many calories do you reckon? She was like 400. I was like, no, don't be silly. That's ridiculous. It's only like, I said 240 and it was 260.
There you go.
Yeah. So even
Um,
just knowing those sorts of things, it's weird how you just seem to start to
yeah, you
adjust
just
to
start to know.
And one of
Well,
the
I
other
did.
big
I
things,
did a calorie challenge here, down the road at this event that they had on the beach, and some people it was like for a full day's eating, like 3 meals and a snack, and
yeah,
drinks, and some people who they were in good condition, they clearly they said they tracked calories before and they'd done it for a while. You can see them just kind of like working through the day, kind of estimating, obviously. And some people got seriously close for a full day's eating, and some people who admitted they'd never tracked calories before, the answer was like 2,800, and some people were guessing like 1,500. Some people were guessing like 6,000. The guesses were crazy, and it's just like
the
you
variation is
just kind of
mad,
know.
isn't it?
But what was the
Yeah.
what was the hardest part? Maybe probably in the first month, or well, I mean at any point during your the process and the program. What was the hardest thing
Uh,
you found?
One of the hardest parts was at the beginning, and I think this is what I used to do previously to the program as well, is that you, I had to get out of the mindset that it's a process and take your time with it. It's
Mm.
not a rush. And then you'll see the results quicker than if you were to do it the way that I had it in my head originally before the program. And that was like, let's get it to as much of a deficit as possible, right? Let's cut out these meals. Let's cut down the calories super low. And I would always think to myself that, say I had like the target at the beginning of the program, like let's eat 2,200 calories a day, I'd be like, right, let's just smash right down from there. Let's go straight down to 1,600 calories a day. And it was hard to really, for me, to get out of that mindset. That's not right. That's too hard. That's going to put your body in too much strain, and you're just not going to be able to achieve the goals that you want. You're going to find yourself making this.
Do you think that's a similar mindset to just skipping breakfast? You know,
Yeah,
when you think about skipping 1/3 of the food you would eat in a day, that's a lot of calories. And that's why, you end up snacking and uncontrollably. And like when you add up all the little things you've snacked on through the day, that might be the amount of calories you would have had at breakfast and more. And it's not going to be as high a protein foods, and it's definitely going to be kind of not as satisfying foods that you're snacking on. So that's it's funny how you wanted to almost do the same thing but in a different way naturally, but by not doing that, you realize that what you used to do was negatively impacting the entire journey,
Yeah, and that was exactly it. Like, doing that was the wrong thing. And now that I realize that it is, you can eat a little bit more. Even if you're still at a deficit, you're still gonna come down in weight and stuff like that. And I didn't realize that was a thing. I thought you had to really sort of get deep into the deficit sort of thing and really push your body. But no, like
we
just
want to make it as
working out.
easy for you as possible at the end of the day, right? We want to
And that's what it
achieve
turns
your
out to
goal.
be.
Yeah.
It turns out to be easy as well. It's so crazy how easy it is. Just comes into it, and it's like, wow, I didn't realize. And it now I didn't realize how easy it is to stay about this maintenance. I thought this was going to be an incredibly difficult part, but now it's it's.
Your microphone's gone a bit funny. Is it covered up?
Sorry, mate. Maybe if I bring it a little bit closer, or it's the internet.
Oh, there you go. There you go. It's better now.
Yeah.
Weird. I don't know what that was. Yeah, that's it's crazy, isn't it? How kind of once you've got that little bit of knowledge, it just makes it a whole lot easier. And do you find that the did you find that that knowledge you were building helped you on those days where you were long commutes into London, maybe you hadn't prepped something and you had to pick something up on the go, and kind of try and identify things that would satisfy you, be high protein, and just kind of, because with the method that we use in the program, right, the 3P method, the portions part is all about kind of trying to keep, when you can't track a meal, trying to keep your portion sizes as similar and make good food choices to what you would normally have. So you're not going to blow the calories to smithereens. So those lunches where you were out in London and you had to kind of think on your feet and find something, just trying to pick something that was similar to maybe the size of the lunch you would usually make and just make positive, good food choices from the knowledge you'd learn, found like that was kind of, big, a big part of the process and the reason you made the success you did.
100%. Yeah. Being able to choose the meal options at lunchtime when I'm on when I'm at work and I've not been able to have the chance to prep and I'm commuting around, because sometimes we'd go on site inspections and stuff like that and I'd be out a week. So having that knowledge of being able to go to the supermarket and just quickly see what options are available to me that will work and fit into the diet program and stuff like that was really, really helpful. And then even like going to like the food options that are around and picking out the options that are gonna not blow it out the park but still hit those protein goals potentially and stuff like that was really, really helpful.
So what kind of the travel that you had back and forth, just tell whoever's listening to this a little bit more about why that was hard and kind of the routine you had.
Say that again, sorry.
Just tell the guys listening what kind of travel you did for work and kind of how long it took and how regularly and irregularly and how much it changed up and how much you had to kind of think on your feet sometimes.
So on a typical day, the travel that I'd have into work would be, so I live down in Essex, I'd travel into London, which would be me traveling to the station which is only 10-15 minutes, finding a place to park and stuff like that, and then traveling probably 2 hours on the train into London. And then whilst getting off at the other end, I would either have options of either jumping on to sort of like the underground and catching a couple of stops, or walking from my station from there. So that would be usually my daily commute into work. I would only have to go into the office 3 days a week, but it'd be sort of unstructured. I wouldn't know what days I would go in. Sometimes I'd have to go in on an emergency where like things would come into the lab that I need to make sure that I need to get in for. So I could go at any point, which would make it really difficult because I wouldn't know if that day comes up, I wouldn't have anything potentially prepped. So having things like the yogurt bowl and stuff like that, that's something really easy just to mix up. So if I did have to rush into the office, I could either take that and eat that on the train in the morning before I leave if I've got time. If not, could you hear the baby?
Yeah, only a little bit. It's all good.
She's hungry. Then if not, I could eat that yogurt bowl for lunch, sort of thing. So if I was traveling and going in, I could then go in there. So
awesome. So let's just yeah, just tell. Well, I don't think we've actually told anyone how much weight you've lost and kind of how long it took you, and yeah, just dive into that.
Yeah. So we started off at like 94 kg, didn't we? And I'm now down to, I weighed myself yesterday morning. I don't jump on the scale every morning anymore, but I weighed myself yesterday morning and I was 72.8.
That's a little bit,
So
I think, yeah, that's come down a little bit more again.
It has come down a little bit more again. Yeah, I dropped down all the way.
20, that's over 20 kilograms, mate.
72.3. So I dropped all the way down to that. It was when I dropped down to 73 that I was like, right, we're good to maintain now. That's the weight that I wanted. And yeah, so I dropped down to 72.3 and now I'm back up to 72.8.
Yeah, but what was your original goal? It wasn't that low, was it?
No, my original goal was like 85 kg or something like that. I just wanted to drop like 10 kg. That was petty. We smashed that within, I don't know, what, like
a few months,
less than a
month. Yeah, that was
crazy how quickly that first part come down. And then it wasn't even like, usually you find that like it starts off really good, right? And you lose that initial weight really quick and then it seems to slow down. It's quite hard to carry on.
Yeah.
But you enabled it just to like keep falling off so fast. Like, because the way that we managed the diet and then we come into a little bit more of a deficit and stuff like that and brought it down more, that it just seemed to keep coming off so fast. Keeping active as well, the body keeping active as well was really helpful. But yeah,
even I think a big thing for you, right, was on those days where you were traveling, you like you did your best to stay active when you could, right? So as you said, when you got off the train, it was, oh, can I walk a bit here instead of jumping straight on the underground, or like little things like that to try and still hit the step goal. Ended up like being a big part as to why that progress just continued, right?
100%. Yeah, just those step goals and stuff like that. And it's something that I'm still conscious about nowadays as well. Is that even though I've changed job now, I've got a new job still in London, so I travel in and commute similar sort of journey, a little bit longer. But I make sure that when I get off the other end, I don't jump on the underground. I make sure that I do those steps and I walk from the main station to my office in London. It just allows me to keep those little bit, like keep that activity high. And what it also allowed me for is when I wasn't able to plan my meals so much because of sort of like what was coming up in the office, and if I had to travel in sporadically or out of the blue and stuff like that, it meant that if I did struggle to find something to eat for lunch, instead of like cutting it out and not eating at all, which would then lead to bad habits, actually having something that maybe is a little bit more in sort of like the amount of calories that I should have had, but also because I was being active still, it would allow for that, and I'd just do a few more steps sort of thing and stuff like that. So having that mindset of walking to and from stations instead of jumping on the train on the underground for those short little commute bits was really helpful.
And losing that 20 kg, that 20 plus kg, like what's that meant to you? Like, how different do you feel? Like, how has it
Yeah,
benefited you in like day-to-day life, in work,
yeah,
family?
I feel incredibly confident now. It's made me feel so much better. Yeah, I've had to spend money on buying a new wardrobe, but it's fine. I like buying new clothes, so that's good. But yeah, like I'm excited to go away on holiday, and just be sitting by the beach, like and just
Yeah.
relaxing, not feeling self-conscious at all. The amount of compliments that I get from my friends now is incredible. Like some of them that don't see me for a while. So one of my friends come down and they were just like, "Wow, Liam, you look so good. Like you just look so like much better in yourself. You look handsome. I didn't even realize how much weight you had put on before, but you're looking absolutely fantastic." And yeah, I feel so much better about it. It
I
feels
still
amazing.
I still remember the first time you messaged me saying someone's just complimented me on how good I'm looking, on how much weight I've lost. And I'm sure that was maybe only like 4, 6 weeks into the
Yeah,
program and it just kept coming and coming and coming. And I mean when somebody if somebody doesn't see you for four months and you've lost 20 kg, 15 kg, even 10 kg, that you
yeah,
look like a different person, right? And especially in your face, like
yeah,
the weight when the weight comes off around your face, like you just look completely different, and you've chopped off
yeah.
your hair.
And I've chopped off all my hair, which is still mental this morning because I haven't had a chance to sort it out. But yeah, I chopped off all my hair as well. But even all the lads at football as well. Like I, because we had baby, it had been like 4 weeks that I hadn't been to football, so they still hadn't like they had seen my progress, but not maybe the end result or something. And some of them had missed it because we swap and change who goes along to football. But even the lads at football, I rocked up and they were all like, "Damn, Liam, what the hell? You look so different. You look crazy." Like obviously we get changed to put our different football tops on and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that
yeah.
out of the office gear and things, and they're like, "Wow, like how did you do it? How much have you lost? Like how did you do like this in such a short period of time?" And it's like, yeah, right, this is why. Yeah, they're all fit, healthy guys themselves, but yeah, they were yeah, it's amazing to hear that from them, and they're all like nice. Yeah, it's really really good.
You can just see it from your smile on your face, right? They're just like how good it feels to have other people, when you make a transformation like you have, like even just knowing and seeing yourself in the mirror and just knowing how far you've come and how good you now feel is
Yeah,
enough. But like
yeah,
having it from other people and compliments from other people and it just takes it to another level, right? And it reaffirms you that time you put in, that effort, because there was hard moments, you've invested money in this and it was all worth it because actually you're now in a position where you're healthier, happier, more confident for your baby, for your wife, for your family, for your friends, for yourself.
yep.
Um, your quality of life is better. Like there's no downsides.
There's no
And
downside.
you
Yeah,
only have to make this investment once and you are good for life. Like if the coach does the right things, shows you the right things, teaches you what you need to know to lose this weight, it doesn't just like give you something, leave you to it, kind of nurtures the process. It like you never have to make that investment again. Like it's done.
exactly. Yeah,
So
and
what was
in
the
the end,
yeah, go on.
it saves you money. It literally does save you money because the amount of times now that I don't want to buy lunch out and I want to make my own food because one, because I know it's absolutely delicious, and two, it's even better macros for me. It's like I was spending easily £10 to £12 each time I would go into the office for lunch, right? And now my meals that I take in from the supermarket that I've prepped myself the night before or on the weekend, I'm eating two meals now, and what I'm spending less than probably a fiver on both of those meals. Uh, like it's saving me money. It's saved me money in the long run. So
And how did you find the like I remember you mentioning before like the support, the one-to-one support during the process, if you were unsure on something, flipping me a message and we used to jump on calls quite regularly, didn't we? Just on WhatsApp, like a video call, just to run through anything you were unsure on. Like how
yeah,
important did you feel that was during the progress and how did that benefit you?
yeah, massively. One of the biggest things was like this was one of the challenges I used to have, and then you helped me overcome that challenge, and it revolved around this. And it was like when people have things that come up in their life all the time, right? There are like events, occasions, and things like that, and like you would help me feel confident enough to go and enjoy myself at these events. Like eat the meal that you want to eat, drink the drink that you want to drink, but understand that you don't have to bully yourself afterwards. You don't have to put yourself in like a really difficult position the day afterwards.
Yeah.
It's okay to have these occasions. It's good to have these occasions. It's good for your lifestyle. It's good for your mentality, right? But it just means that it doesn't mean that you have to then fall off the bandwagon the next few days, right? You then don't have to eat rubbish the next couple of days afterwards. You then don't. You can just sort of jump straight back into the routine, get back into the program, and then you'll still carry on seeing the results. Mm-hmm. You reassured me all the time, having these calls that we would regularly have about these sorts of things, that one day you're not going to lose all the progress that you've made. Like, it's one day, it happens, and you'll enjoy it, and it's worth it. So,
and for the guys that, you know, travel a lot and they may have a full day, you know, that they've been out of meetings all day or a travel day, and you know things do go a bit tits up, and it gets a bit hard, and they can't eat what they plan to, or there's very limited on offer, and they have to kind of to go for something that they maybe wouldn't have decided on. Like just having someone to reassure you that you're not going to undo all your hard work in one day, in one meal. And I mean, you had a mate come over from Australia, right? And you had a whole week where you kind of just allowed yourself flexibility. And I'm pretty sure during that week you still lost a little bit of weight, was it?
Yeah, 100%. I had my mate come down from Australia. It was one night where we had a big surprise birthday, so had a big party. I had drunk probably plenty, but making sure that I drank the right drinks because it was still conscious in my mind, and I wanted to make sure that I was able to enjoy it. So I still had a great time. But still making sure I ate the right foods. But we went out for dinner still. Just made sure that I still kept active during that process and whilst he was here, so that it allowed me to be able to eat the right foods and go out for dinner and enjoy my time with him. And then also I went skiing, didn't I? I went on a ski holiday and stuff like that. I was able to eat the meals and that with my dad, just going out to the restaurants at lunchtimes and that. And usually it'd be because like I would just constantly previously going skiing on a ski holiday or something like that. I would just eat a big old lunch, big old dinner, have beers with them, and then just go skiing for the day and then come back and not do anything and then go maybe out on a session in the evening. But I've changed my mindset and I still enjoyed it and I was like having an absolutely fantastic time. But still at the end of the holiday lost weight, and that was because of the small adjustments where maybe at lunchtime I didn't have a beer. I only had a beer in the evening. And after my session of snowboarding, I wouldn't just go sit in the couch and not move. I'd just go do a few steps and go walk around the town and go see some things. So that was absolutely fantastic to know that I could go and enjoy myself as much as I previously did on a ski holiday and then come back and still lost weight. It was, phenomenal.
Yeah, man, it's so cool to hear. And if you were speaking to somebody who was, you know, on the fence a little bit about joining the program, you know, they weren't sure whether they wanted to invest the money or they have time or with their lifestyle that, you know, some of the guys in the program, they are at home for a week, then they're in Dubai for a week, then they're in like all these different countries in hotels, not able to track stuff like if they're not sure that they could possibly lose weight and feel better and improve their body, like what would you say to them?
It's just you just got to do it. Just do it. Like it'll be the best decision you've made in terms of your fitness journey if that's what you want to achieve. Like it'll be an absolutely fantastic like choice to make. You've got to do it because you'll see the results. And even if you're on the fence and you just want to try it for a month or just a short period of time, you'll see the results that you want to get, and you will get them without a doubt. And then you'll want to carry on. You'll want to carry on the program. You want to see the improvements, and you just got to take a step. Just take that leap. Like it's not hard. You can achieve it for sure. And the money is not even something that you have to worry about because it all comes back worth it in the end, 10 times.
Quality. Should we leave it on that? I mean, I don't think you can get a better kind of finishing line than that. But it was it was just from my side, like it was awesome having working with somebody who, and this is big, right? Not a lot of people, not everybody does this when they sign up for something. They like if they're unsure, they reach out and they ask, because the more you ask, the more you learn, the more you benefit. And it was awesome to work with you. Like seeing the progress you made through the challenges that came up is just like the way you feel and how good you feel. I feel the same. Like me, I believe I feel the same. And seeing those progress photos every week, and you just get leaner and leaner, and the end results that you have now, and it's clear. Like, what did we finished your cut maybe probably 2 months ago now? How long ago did the baby come?
Yeah, maybe even more. Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
And you've still maintained that progress. You've
Yeah.
still maintained your shape. You haven't really been able to train or track food, and you've it's just like it makes me feel amazing. And I hope and I can't wait to see, once the routine gets a bit more stable, like whatever
Mm.
fitness goals you have come up. I know from the discipline you showed and the process and the knowledge you've learned that, you know, you'll smash anything you put your mind to. So I appreciate you jumping on this call and telling the people who are watching this like your experience.
Yeah.
And yeah, is there
I
anything else
appreciate it, Jack, man. I never thought I'd be able to achieve what I have achieved. You just showed me that I could. And yeah, it's absolutely fantastic that you were able to do that for me, and I appreciate
it's not that difficult, right?
it. It's fantastic. Yeah, it's it's the best.
Awesome, man. I'm glad to hear it. And for anybody watching, if this is kind of, well, if you're currently struggling with your travel, your work schedule, the balance between achieving your fitness goals, your fat loss goals, and a body that you want and are confident in, and it just hasn't worked before. If this has made you think twice about getting a coach and getting some help to finally achieve your goals, like exactly like Liam has, then there's a link in the description in the top line to book a call with me. We can go over exactly how I would help you with your situation. It's all personalized, and we'll talk about exactly how we can make it work for you. So jump down, click that link, and book a call, and I'll see you on the other side. And
Go do it. Well worth it.
I appreciate your time, Liam. Awesome, man.
Cheers, man.
Speak soon.
Take care.
See you later.